Yo, what's up guys? Brandon here. Today I'm taking you on a story on the Formula 3 car around Silverstone. Yeah, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a good one. You know, it's a challenging car, challenging circuit as well. You know, it's very fast and flowing, but also it can be very tight and twisty, forgiving as well. You know, there's a lot of runoff, so for new drivers who maybe make mistakes, it's very good for that. You know, so I understand some people are going to be new here, maybe doing this for the first time. So you never know. It's a good first step, you know, a good first track to do. It's not too challenging, but at the same time, it can also be very hard at some points. So no, it's going to be good though. But yeah, what I'm doing today is teaching you. This is I think my world record lap in this car around this circuit. I'm not sure if it is. I'm sure it's close to that, but I know this is one of the files where I'm pretty close to that. So yeah, you'll learn all you need in this video. But no, I'll be talking through the lap slowly. So I'll be basically going corner by corner. What the best thing to do is run that corner to achieve the best lap time. And yeah, I'll just be taking you on a run around here, and I'll be slowing it down in some corners as well, so go slow motion to give you guys a more in-depth guide to each corner. So yeah, but let's get into it though. Alright, so this is the last chicane of the lap, and I'll just be talking you through the lap from here. So taking the last chicane here, and onto the first corner. So what you want to do there is, at all times, is make this corner as straight as possible. What I mean by straight as possible is in racing or any aspect of motorsport, it's important to travel as less distance as possible, and you want to be traveling, yeah, short distance possible, and that will achieve quicker lap time. And it may be only minute little differences here and there, but that can add up to tenth by tenth each lap, and that can add up to a second. So say you found a tenth each corner, that add up to a second at the end of the lap. So that's what I've been taught over my course for racing. And yeah, so here for example, it may not look like that much difference because it's a flat out corner, right? But what you want to do here is make this as straight as possible. So you see my steering input is very light, very slight, no big movements like that, very linear and slight. And you want to make sure it's just gentle, really gentle, and just going straight in and out to the corner to get a good run. Using all the curb, which allows you to get a better run going to the first corner. So down to the first corner. Again, staying to the left, following the white lines. You guys will be able to see that when you're on the circuit. You follow the white lines and use all the curb on the outside going to the first corner as well. So using all the track at all times as well. Um, so yeah, you see the curb here, the red and white on the outside. You always want to be using those. It's kind of a guide to where to go on the track. So it's like apexes and exits, what I kind of explained during the lap. But this is basically your guide to where you want to be positioning for the corner. And it's like it's like a reminder, you know what I mean? So you don't have to always think consciously, oh, where should I be? Where should I be? Just consciously or unconsciously, you should know where the red and white is, the way you should be, and positioning for the corner. And it's kind of your guide to where to go. So yeah, using all the curb here, this is a flat out corner, but you may want to lift, obviously, because of some of you may be experienced, but I think you may be able to take a flat after a while. So just try and practice that and get that down, and this should be flat eventually. So turning in quite early here, you should be able to see where the turning marks are. You should be able to see these. Actually, I'm not sure if these lines will be here. If you guys are practicing on track together, they may be, because these are basically lines where people have been turning beforehand. Or in this case, I've been turning beforehand because I'd been doing laps before this. But yeah, so these kind of your guide as well to where to turn. That's where the grip is. So on the inside, you see there's nothing there. So the grip is all here. So you don't want to be taking the inside unless you're defending, which is kind of racing aspect, which I'll touch on a bit later. Yeah. So here, want to be taking an early apex here. An apex is basically the optimal line in the corner, which you'll get the best entry and exit speed to get the fastest lap time. So yeah, here you want to be taking this apex here, just touching the green on the inside, not too much because the grass is there. And again, this is flat out. Again, flat out around this corner as well. There's a flat out right left in this corner, so it's a pretty simple complex. But again, you want to be aiming for the curb here, following it around and positioning yourself right to the left. I could have done a bit better job here, but ideally you want to be further to the left as possible. It's okay, but you have to make this apex to the right here. So yeah, apex there, perfect apex, and then you want to run the car out to the left here. But yeah, a technique I use here, which I utilize really well, is trail braking. So trail braking is a technique where you go into the corner, you apply initial brake pressure, and you gradually come off the brake. So It's really utilised well in slow corners like hairpins and this, whereas fast corners is more stamp on the brake or lift. It's a more general pattern for them corners. But this corner, it's really important to utilise trail braking to gain the best stoppage power, because if I didn't trail brake here, I would go straight on, or I'd miss the corner lock up example. So yeah, trail braking is really important here. Trail braking here, taking a nice apex and using all the track on the left. DP in second gear. You pay attention to the dasher as well. You can see which gears I'm into. You should try and follow that example while driving too. And again here, little dab of the brake, and then I just hold it into the corner until I feel I have enough stoppage to make the corner. Once I've made it, I come off the brake and slowly apply throttle. Gradual input is best in these cars. So gradually on the brake. You can stamp in some scenarios, but like I said, that's for fast corners. But for slow corners, a gradual input on the brake, hard input, and slowly release the brake. Again with the throttle as well, slowly input it, not just stamp. Slowly input it, or you'll just spin around. Because you have to be really, you have to dance with the car. You can kind of feel it underneath you. Well, you're in a simulator, so you can't really feel it underneath you, but mentally you can. And it's like you just have to kind of trust the car underneath you and just feel it in the wheel, which you'll be using because it has force feedback, which is to replicate the real feeling of a real car. So okay, so gradually inputting throttle here, running all the way to the outside using the curb again. Again, these guys, like I said, and again this corner you want to make it as straight as possible. Like I said before earlier, I explained it in depth. Okay, so again here positioning all the way to the right as possible using all the track here, and you'll see here I do a slight jagged movement there on my wheels, slight like that. What this is just I'm positioning myself diagonally to brake straight for this apex here. Because if I just went straight here, I'm facing that way, and that's towards the wall. But what I'm doing is I'm positioning my car diagonally, so I'm facing towards the apex, which is perfect for this corner. It's a fast flowing corner, and it opens up after, which you'll see. So I'll play it in slow motion so you can see it a better way. So here, you should see my wheel do a slight, right there. You see I do a slight my wheel. That's me positioning diagonally for the corner. At the same time, I'm applying brake. So right now, I've done that, and now I'm applying brake. Just about now, and you can hear my ABS too, which is basically the anti-lock braking system. But so now I'm slowly coming off the brake and opening up the corner because it's a very fast-flowing corner. So I'll play it again full speed for you to see. So on the brake now, on the brake now. Just about now coming off it, and then slowly applying throttle. So there's two things you can do in this corner here. You can either go right to the left to get a good exit here, or you can aim straight to the curb and hook the curb around. So what I do, and the fastest way is to hook the curb around, but I understand for some people who may be a bit new, getting on the throttle early there could cause the car to unsettle and spin. So that's a good option as well, to go out to the outside on that corner, but also staying to the inside is a great option too. So yeah, I get a bit of understeer here, which is basically when the car's lacking grip. Oversteer is when you have too much grip and the rear end just swings around. Understeer is when you're just going straight onwards in a way. So you can hear my tyre screeching as well, which means I'm on the limit of the grip, which is okay in some aspects, but in a long race you don't want to be doing that, which will wear your tyres out. But in a one lap scenario it's okay. So I missed the apex a bit here, but I short shift into third, and what short shifting is basically balancing the rev so your car hasn't got too much wheel spin. And yeah, I short shift into third here, and that allows me to get a great smooth exit out of this corner. So basically, you should be able to hear the rev. So when I'm going down the straight, right, which I'm doing, I'll show you again. You hear how the car, and see the dash, you see the lights on there go to the max, you hear it go like rev up, so you hear it rev like. Then I shift into fifth. Whereas when I come out of this corner here, I short shift, right, to balance the revs out. If I didn't, I'd just then have wheel spin and spin out because of traction, less attraction. So here I short into third to balance the revs, as you hear, and then I smoothly apply throttle, which allows me to have no problem with the traction coming out the corner, so I can just have a relaxed exit out of the corner. So again, using all the track here, using all the curb. Same thing with here, traveling the less distance as possible, just following the guideline to the curbs. Same thing with here. So this is the really challenging corner. It's a flat out corner in this car, so using all the track on the exit, you see I'm nearly on the grass, so using every single ounce of the track, which is really important. These slight differences can make up tenths in each corner, which will then add up to lap time eventually, so you want to be really conscious of this during the lap. But again, positioning here is really important. So again, I'm straight here, and again I turn really early. So I'm using my vision here to look at the curb. I have a bit of a glare here because of the conditions, but you guys may not have that. But as you see, there's a glare there, so it's really hard to see the red and white, but I can just about see it, and you want to really pay attention to that and judge where you're going. For you guys, I'd say it'll definitely be a lift here, but if you have enough experience, by all means, challenge yourself and take it flat out. There's a lot of runoff on the exit here, so if you make a mistake, you can have... It's a lot of cushion for error, a lot of margin for error, so it's fine. But yeah, so again, using the inside curb here, perfect apex, and then running all the way out to use all the curb. You want to use all the track, like I said. That was just about the limit of track limits. Track limits is very important as well. So, in this corner here, it's a very important corner, which leads into a massive tight twisty complex called Magus and Beckett's. So yeah, here you want to be positioning to the right as much as can. You can even use that curb to get a better trajectory into the corner. I don't in this lap, but you can if you necessary. It doesn't matter as long as you make this curb on the inside perfectly, and take this curb on the inside, then you'll be set up perfectly for a straight run around here and the left. So into here, it's a flat apex again, flat here and flat for the right. You can lift if you want to, but if you have enough confidence, again, take it flat. And here, so here's the technique where I don't use trail braking. It's a slight. I need to remember I lift here or brake here. You can try both. It's really important to experiment as well what's good for you, because as a driver for me, I've been driving since I was young. You know, I've adapted a driving style to myself. But for you, it could be different. Different drivers have different driving styles. But for me, I have a little lift here into fifth to cushion the car, and then just downshift one gear into fifth. Power through it, and again into fourth, going to this corner to get more revs out, so I get a better exit on the straight. Because revs are more important if you're going really challenging tight corner. So again here on the power, running it all the way out to the outside using all the track as always. Even a bit of the grass here, you can do that, but I don't advise it. For every inch of lap time I was trying to find in this lap, because I think it was a world record lap, but you don't want to be doing that. You want to be staying on the track. The only reason why I did that is because there was such a short margin between the grass and the curb at that time, so I was like, it wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, ideally you want to stay on the curb and not the grass. So again here, down the straight. So at this point you can have a bit of a breather. It's a really long back straight, you know, it's the last sector coming up, so you want to be composed, as calm as possible. You know, if you did a solid lap already, you know if you make this complex, it's going to be a good lap and you have a good result. So at this point you want to have to be taking a breather, relaxing, just clearing your head and just focusing on the last sector and nothing else, you know. Even if you made any mistakes previously, that's out of the way. You just have to think on what's ahead and focus on the task at hand. So into this corner here, my positioning and my visions at this board here, so the white board there, you can see, that's when I know I should start positioning for the corner. So I pass this, and my braking point is this curb. So the red and white curb, I know when I see this, I'm going to start braking and focus on the apex. So as soon as I go past this, I brake. Quick stab at this point, because this is a fast flowing corner. So again, trail braking will be utilized in the next corner, because it's slow, but this is the stab of the brake, because it's very fast and flowing. So taking this corner, got a nice apex there. Bit late on there, could have took a bit more, but that curb can cause wheel spin, so I advise staying off it. I've had my bad experiences in there in the past. So opening up the corner as much as you can. This is way too much track limit, so you don't want to be here. You want to be over there. This was a little mistake by me, but you want to be always staying on the inside there, like using the green stuff. So that was a mistake by me there, but just, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to make mistakes sometimes. I think I was trying to avoid the curb here really consciously, so I lost a bit of focus on the exit here. But you want to be staying on the red and white stuff where it will demove track limits. I think in the race you can do it, and it will be okay. You can do it a few times. I think once or twice is a warning, and then 3 times is a penalty. So you can do it once or twice. You make a little mistake, it's fine, but really be conscious of that, because it's really important, especially for quali, because that won't count your lap. So you can have 2 wheels on the red, 2 wheels on the green, and that's it. So going to the last chicane, again, you want to utilize trail braking a lot here. It's a slow corner, and it's really important as well, because it's the last corner on the lap. So if you've done a good lap and you mess this up, it's over. So you want to be really conscious of that and focus on it really well, and forget what happened the rest of the lap, honestly. That's something I learned as I was younger. You really want to oh, it's gone off screen there. Sorry about that, guys. My video just went down. But yeah, so what I'm saying for that chicane is you want to be really conscious of the last sector, because the last sector is really important. Let me just go back to it quickly. Be a quick little thing. Okay, so the last chicane here is really important. Where is it? Okay, so let's go back to it again. So here, I see the whiteboard on the right hander, and that's my key to know I start braking. And then you have to pay attention to this a lot, because this corner here can really make and break your lap. So my braking point is the curb here. I see this curb when I start braking, but the white marker is when I know to basically prepare myself for it, if you know what I mean. You just prep yourself for it. And you should know constantly, okay, I'm going to start focusing on the corner now, because now it's just a straight. I see that white board I pass that, I'm like, okay, braking's coming up now. So, trail braking, really important here. You want to ease onto the brake, gradually increasing pressure, and then ease off it, slowly decreasing pressure. It's really important to do that. Which I'm really good at. I've kind of mastered that over it. Well, I've not mastered it. You can never say, no matter how good you are, you've mastered something in racing or any sport. But, you know, I've got pretty confident with it for myself. So, yeah, trail braking is really important here. And I slowly release the brake just about now. You can hear the squeak of my ABS, just slowly where I kind of come off the brake, which is really important to hear. So you can, if you listen to the ABS here, which is the squeaking noise, the anti-lock braking system, just about now I'm off the brake. So I've slowly just released it just to keep momentum, and to keep the revs up as well. So now, in second, a little dab of the brake, a little dab of the accelerator to keep momentum through the corner. Aiming for again, the red and white here, because that's your guide to know where to go. So a little lift to set up the car, and then slowly apply throttle to power out the corner and use all the track on the exit. And again here, remember, straight line as possible. It's a diagonal corner, but you want to make it as straight as possible to travel the least distance as possible. Like I said before, it's hard to explain to you guys, but I explained it in more depth earlier. The least distance is always faster in motorsport. It's always want to be doing. It's a really important aspect of the sport. You should always be doing that. So, yeah. So across here again, just making it as straight as possible using all the track. And yeah, that's the lap of Silverstone. You know, it's yeah, it's a unique track. It's very simple. It's complex. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulty earlier. You know, it happened. You know, this is raw. I'm trying to teach you guys everything I could to help you guys for this event, to try and get you as good as you can and as prepped as you can for the event. You know, it's going to be a hard event for some of you guys. You know, some guys, you might have success, you may fail, but you know, it's all about learning here, and it's about just doing something that you'll enjoy, and maybe finding your thing for the future. You never know. Some of you could be the future esports stars and future motorsport stars. So you never know, guys. But no, it's motorsport and esports is a great sport, and I highly recommend it. I've been doing it since I was 8. And yeah, I hope to see some of you guys out there, and I'll be down there to see you guys at the event. So any questions from this video, or any questions in general, like car setup, any little corners you're struggling with, come to me. I'll help you about it. Me and Winston will be sitting at the front in 2 rigs. So anytime you want something, just tap me on the shoulder, let me know. During your break or something for a session, hit me up, and I'll be there for you. So don't worry about it. But no, it's going to be a good event, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. It's going to be a great experience for you all. So yeah, but no, I'll see you guys there, and good luck.